In the last lesson, I showed you how to install a database in your computer, and we installed SQL Server and SQL Server Management Studio with the ContosoRetailDW. Everything is from Microsoft. In this video, we are going to plan the creation of our dashboard based on the data we have in the database. So first off, I have to know exactly what information I want to display in my dashboard so I can retrieve the right data. Of course, you don't want to load to your Power Query project data that is useless or that is not going to appear on your dashboard. So we are going to plan the dashboard in this class and create the background in Figma. And in the next lesson, we are going to actually look at the database and find the data that we need, the tables and columns that we need to create the dashboard that we are planning in this lesson. So come with me. Suppose this is my screen, and I will have here on top, I will have the logo, the company's logo. I'm going to create this logo. Oops, I'm going to create this logo with AI, and I want here, I want to rank the sales region, which means I want to display the amount of sales in each of the sales region. And of course, I can use the graph to rank the ones that sold the most during a certain period of time. And to reach that, I can create a bar or a horizontal bars graph. And this graph, this is going to show, like I said, sales per region. And here, I also want to show the total sales amount, but not for each region. Now I want to show the sales per sales manager. So again, I'm going to have a bar chart, and only this bar chart is going to rank the sales conducted by each sales manager. And on this side, I will have a table. This table is going to be sales and sales quantity by product. And in the first column, I will have the product's name. And here in the second column, I'm going to have the sales amount and the sales quantity. And down below, I will have a map. So it's going to be a sales map. And in this map, I'm going to show the sales amount per region, per sales region, and per country. Okay, so basically, this is what I'm going to have in my dashboard. It's going to be a simple dashboard, but on top, I need the slicers. I need the time, and I'm going to have a slicer for products, and a slicer for region, and another one for country. Okay, that's a basic plan. I don't need too much detail in this plan because as we actually try to implement it, things are probably going to change. It's just to have a start point to start working. And above all, to know what is the data that I need, because in my database, there's a lot of data there, but I only want to import the data that meets my demands, that meets my needs. And pretty much we are gonna need two measures. There's gonna be sales amount and the sales quantity. Okay, let's just plan the background, the visual, and I think I'm going to create a background like this. This part on top, this is going to be dark part, and down below it's going to be the clear part. So on top, I'm going to have a dark blue, and at the bottom, it's going to be like a bluish-gray. Okay, and I'm going to have, like I said, the logo will be here, and then we are going to have a white background for the first graph, and a white background for the second graph, and white backgrounds for the other graphs. And there you go. And on top, I will have my slicers. Okay, so this is a good Okay, let me do it again. This doesn't look good, but okay, it's just an overall idea, and this is a good start point. Now I know the data I need based on this little plan, and I'm going to work with the real data from the database in the next video. In the next video, we're going to look at the database and find the data we need to create this dashboard and these charts. And in this lesson, right now, we're going to jump into Figma. And in Figma, we are going to create this background. This is the background we're going to use in Power BI. Okay, in my browser, I'm going to look for figma.com, and I'm already logged in. If you don't have a Figma account, please go ahead and create one. If you know nothing about Figma, please let me know in the comments. If you would like me to record new videos on Figma foundations, please let me know and we can post these videos. Maybe we can create a short course on Figma. I'm going to assume you already know something about Figma to create this background. But if you don't, please let me know. I will start a new draft. Click draft and create a design. I'm creating a new design. And I will call this new design, it's totally blank, but before I start, I'm going to call this page background 1. Okay, there you go. I still have nothing, but I'm going to create, I'm going to click this little icon to create a new frame. But this new frame should be in the form of a presentation. I don't want it in the shape of a phone or a tablet or a desktop. I want it to be in the same form in shape as a presentation. So I need a slide that is 16 by 9, and a full HD screen is 1920 and by 1080 pixels. So this is exactly the format I want. This is the format that is suitable for Power BI. And I have nothing in this frame, but I'm going to change the background color. I want it to be gray, but a bluish gray. So I will click fill, and I'll click this little square, the white square, and then I can change the color as I see fit. In this case, I want it to be blue. I want gray, but a bluish gray. That looks good to me, but now I need a rectangle on top. And to include a rectangle, I will click this little rectangle icon. Actually, I'm going to click the little down arrow so I can select the shape that I need. And in this case, of course, I need a rectangle. I'm going to draw the rectangle, and I will try to fit it to the entire frame. Okay, and in case you want to select objects and, for example, move only an object in your frame, you will use this little black arrow. You can see a black arrow. If you want to move the entire frame, you will use this little hand. Okay, the hand will move the entire thing. And if you hold Control and scroll up, you will zoom in. If you scroll down, holding Control, you will zoom out. Okay, so if you need the black arrow back, you will only press letter V in your keyboard, and you will move objects. And if you want to move the whole thing, you will press H and the H key in your keyboard, and then you'll move the whole thing. Okay, now I will again get back to the black arrow, and now I'm going to change the color of this upper triangle, upper rectangle, and I'm going to make it dark blue. Let me select this blue, and I want it to be dark. There you go. And now I want to create the white background for each of my graphs. And again, I'm going to add new rectangles, and these are going to be white. Okay, let me make it a little more interesting. I'm going to add some shade. So selecting the shape, the rectangle, I will select effect and drop shadow. Drop shadow is already selected by default, and I can change the direction of the shadow This is the x-axis and the y-axis. I can change the blur and the spread. Well, it looks good to me. And I'm gonna copy and paste. Actually, I'm gonna duplicate this shape. How can I duplicate a shape in Figma? All I have to do is press the Alt key and then move the shape aside, and then move it again, and then move it again, pressing Alt. Okay, now I have 4 shapes as I had planned. I just have to reshape them. And let me try to arrange it like this. My vertical shapes can't, my vertical triangles can't be very narrow because it will harm the graph. Okay, let me make it a little bit, a little taller, a little more. There you go. No, actually, I had a better idea. Let me just, this is gonna help keep the consistency. I'm gonna have just one here and just one here. And we are going to separate it later with the Figma plugin. But okay, to make sure my shapes are well aligned, I will use a Figma resource that is really, really cool. First off, I want to show you that we can rename the entire shape. Just look, this is the shape's name, the frame's name actually. So I'm going to double click and call it frame 1. And you can see that its name here on top is going to change to. And I can also rename each of my objects. I can call it, for example, rectangle 1. I can call it dark blue rectangle. And then white. Let me drag. Look, this one is rectangle 2. Let me drag it up just to keep a good order. I can call it white rectangle right and white rectangle left. Well, actually, this one is left. And this one is right. Okay, you got the idea. And to make sure it's all aligned, I will select the entire frame, not only one rectangle or 2 rectangles, the entire frame has to be selected. And all the way down, I will click Layout Guide. And you see that now we have small squares. And these squares are going to help me align all the objects in my frame. But these squares are too small, so I'm going to make it 20. The size is going to be 20 instead of 10. And now it's going to help me get everything correctly aligned. So I will zoom in, and as I have to move the entire frame, I'm going to press H, and now with the hand, I can get to the right point. And now V, so I can select each separate object. And I want, from every edge, I want a 2 square distance, okay? I will make sure this is right. Also, on the other side, 2 squares, 2 squares, and also, well, here between shapes, maybe I don't need 2 squares, maybe only 1 is enough. And on top, let me make sure it's well aligned. Well, it already is. Okay, now I want to split. Let me hide the grids. Again, I have to select the frame, and down below, I will click this little eye, layout guide, and I click the eye to hide it. All right, now let's split up these 2 shapes. And to do that, I need a Figma plugin. How can I find a Figma plugin? You will right click and then select plugins. I already have a split shapes. If you don't, you will just click manage plugins and search for split shape and then start it. Okay, I already have it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select one of the shapes, right click, and then select split shape. And I want to split it in two columns. and I only need one row, and the gutter is the space between the new shapes, the new split shapes. I'll click split, and there you go. But then the space in between is not as large as here. So I will press Ctrl Z and undo it. And again, right click, plug in, split shape. And it's right, I need two columns, one row, but then the gutter, I'm gonna make it 15. It looks cooler to me now. It's still not perfect, but okay, you will have more time to do the tweaks. And here again, split shape. Now I want one single column and two rows. There you go. And now I will need a logo. I need a logo on top, and I'm going to create this logo with AI. I'm going to use ChatGPT. I'll click ChatGPT. Okay. And I will ask, please create a logo for a company called, I'm going to call it Retail. This is a worldwide company, and I need a round logo, and the logo must have a good contrast with its background. The background color is, and then in Figma, I will copy the background, which is this upper rectangle, and the color is this. So I will click and copy the color and paste it here. I'll just add a hash in the beginning. This is the regular way to refer to colors. And let's see what ChatGPT is gonna create for us. I don't wanna burn too many brain cells trying to create a logo from scratch. So let's let it do it for us. And it could take a few minutes, so be patient. Okay, there you go. And this is the logo. Pretty decent, huh? This is the logo ChatGPT created for us. Now I will download it. And in my download folder, I'm gonna select it and copy it, Control C, and back in Figma, I will click out of the frame, and paste it, Control V. Now I will only reshape it, resize it on top of the dashboards. Let me make it a little bigger. Okay, now you can see, I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but the color that the background, the logo background color that ChatGPT created, it was a little darker than actually my background color. So to solve this, I'm going to change my background color. So the blue rectangle, I'm going to make it the same color as the logo background. And that's very, very easy to do in Figma. And all I have to do, I will select the blue rectangle, and in fill, I will click the little square to reselect the color. But instead of trying to match the colors, I will use this little tool, simple color, and click on the color that I want to copy. And there you go. Now it's all the same color. And one more detail, please note that the logo, it was placed above everything in my frame. This is my frame, and these are all the objects in the frame, but the image that I just imported, it was placed out of my frame. So all I have to do, I will just drag it down into the frame, and I'll rename it as logo. Okay, there you go. And now I can export this background, but before, it's too simple. Let me do just a last tweak before we can export it. Let me do this. I will select one of these rectangles and hold Alt so I can have a copy, and I will change this color. Let's make it blue, but not as dark as as the background. Let me, okay, this looks a good color to me. And you can see that it's behind the other rectangle. So to bring it up, I have to bring it up here on this list. I will just drag it up and then it will be above the other rectangles. Now I will reshape it. And again, let me show all the grid. I will select the frame, and down below I will show the grid, and I want this to be three squares high. Okay, and now again I will make a copy. Oops, I will hold Alt and then make a copy. This copy will go here, and again here. And this will be my graph headers. There you go. And now I will click the frame again and hide all of the grid. Okay, and well, let me just make it a little better, just a last tweak. I will add the text here. I think it's too empty, so oops. Let me add text, and I'm gonna write here I will make it larger. Your one-stop shop. Okay. Your one-stop shop. And we'll let me increase the size a little bit. 36, is that's too much? So 32, no, 30. 30 is okay. Now the background is okay, and what I have to do now, I have to export it. And to do it, I will select the entire frame, and down below on the right hand side panel, I will click export. In this case, PNG is a good quality, so I will click export, and then this image is going to get downloaded to my download folder. And let me open up Power BI. I will create a blank report, and now I'm going to bring that image as the dashboard background. I'm going to select this button right here, which is the format button. And in Canvas background, I will browse to my download folder and select the background I just created. I will open, and in image fit, I have to select fit, and the transparency is 100%. I'm going to bring it to 0. And there you go. This is the background I just created. Of course, I still have these little icons up front, but this is just because I still haven't inserted anything in the dashboard. If I insert, for example, some new visual, and then now you can see that those icons disappeared. But we are not going to work with Power BI at this point. In the next video, we are going to take a look at the database. And before we can start working with Power BI, we have to arrange everything and create our plan for the data import directly from the database into Power Query, so we can shape the data and transform anything we may need in Power Query, and then bring it over into Power BI, where we will keep working in our sales dashboard. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with your friends. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you want to learn more about Figma or dashboard design, and see you in the next lesson.